If you're watching this video, chances are you've thought about quitting your job. And I get it. The urge is strong. Maybe you're tired of answering to a boss. Maybe you're underpaid. Maybe you've always dreamed of working for yourself. And I'm not here to tell you to not do it. But before you hand in that 2-week notice, before you send that resignation email, do yourself one favor. Watch this video first. Because there are some things that I'm about to share that most people don't realize until it's too late. These are the conversations that usually take place after someone quits their job, when the paycheck stops coming in, the excitement wears off, and the reality sets in. And I don't want that to happen to you. So before you pull the trigger, let's make sure you are actually ready. Everybody tells you to quit your 9-to-5. Bet on yourself, they say. Take the leap of faith, they say. Sounds motivational, I know. Until you're sitting at your kitchen table 3 months later, wondering how you're going to pay your mortgage. And here's the truth. Most people don't fail because they quit their job. They fail because they quit too soon. I've been an entrepreneur now for over 7 years. I've owned multiple businesses. I've built a YouTube channel with over 100,000 subscribers. I've helped thousands of people build businesses, restore their credit, buy homes, and get funding. And through all of that, I've learned something most business influencers never seem to talk about. Quitting your job should never be your first goal. Freedom is. Today, I'm going to share 10 things that every entrepreneur should think about before quitting. And if you do these first, you dramatically increase the chances of succeeding. Numero uno, prove your business actually works. This is where people get it messed up. They spend months designing logos, buying courses, creating LLCs, printing business cards, buying websites, and they've never sold a single thing. Your business isn't validated because your friends say it's a good idea. Before you quit, I want you to prove that someone is willing to consistently pay you for what you sell. One sale isn't enough, and neither are 3. Can you consistently generate customers? Because once your paycheck disappears, your business becomes responsible for feeding your family. Number 2, build an emergency fund. Entrepreneurship is unpredictable. Some months you'll make more money than you've ever made. Other months, your phone barely rings. If missing one paycheck would put you into panic mode, you're probably not ready. Now, personally, I want to have about 6 months of reserves set aside to survive, and 12 months will be even better. That cushion changes everything. It gives you the ability to make smart decisions instead of desperate ones. Number 3, pay down high interest debt. If you're carrying large credit card balances, every slow month becomes an emergency. High interest debt forces entrepreneurs to make bad decisions. For example, they begin discounting their products and services too heavily. They ignore red flags and start taking on bad clients when they're desperate. They chase every opportunity instead of using discernment. The less pressure you feel financially, the better you'll operate. Number 4, replace most of your current income. You don't necessarily have to replace 100% of your salary before quitting, but I wouldn't recommend quitting when you're only making about 20 or 30%. Can your business consistently cover your basic living expenses? Can you survive on self-employment income alone for several months? Can you accurately predict revenue? Consistency matters more than one amazing month, one viral video, one lucky client. One big commission doesn't mean you're ready. Number 5, separate your personal and business finances. This sounds simple, but you'd be amazed how many people never do it. Open a business checking account. Start using accounting software like QuickBooks. Know your numbers. Track every single dollar and transaction. When tax season comes around, you'll thank yourself. Running your business from your personal checking account creates confusion. And confusion costs moolah. Number 6, build predictable lead generation. Here's something I wish entrepreneurs understood. Your business isn't built on products. It's built on customers. You don't have a marketing problem because business is slow. You have a customer acquisition problem. Can you consistently generate leads? Whether that's YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, LinkedIn, Google, your email list, referrals, networking, or even paid advertising, you need a predictable way to attract customers because hope is not a marketing strategy. Number 7, understanding expenses nobody talks about. When you're employed, your company covers things like health insurance, payroll taxes, retirement plans, workers' compensation, maybe even life insurance. But once you become self-employed, those responsibilities fall on you. Before we continue, I want to thank FSA Store for sponsoring today's video. If you're thinking about quitting your job or recently accepted a new one, here's something many people completely overlook. If you have a flexible spending account or FSA, you may have money sitting in that account that will be gone when you leave your job. Or, like in most cases, the funds could expire if you don't use it before your plan's deadline. Instead of letting those hard-earned pre-tax dollars go to waste, visit fsastore.com/Kelvin M. FSA Store is the largest online marketplace dedicated entirely to FSA eligible products, so there's no guessing whether or not it qualifies. Every product on the site is 100% FSA eligible, and if you have an FSA card, you can use it directly at checkout. Whether you're gathering everyday health essentials or preparing for future medical needs, it's a smart way to maximize benefits you've already earned before they disappear. Visit fsastore.com/Kelvin M or scan the QR code on the screen to start shopping today. Thanks again to FSA Store for sponsoring this video. A lot of entrepreneurs focus on replacing their paycheck without realizing they also have to replace their benefits. That's why making the same income doesn't actually mean you're in the same financial position. Number 8, one of my favorites, build business credit before you need it. This one is huge, especially if you watch this channel or follow me on social media. The worst time to look for funding is when you're desperate. Banks love lending money to businesses that don't really need it. So build your business credit early. Establish relationships with banks. However, you should definitely open business cards responsibly. Create financial flexibility before the emergency happens, because funding shouldn't be a plan A, but it should be your backup plan. Next, number 9, make sure you're running towards something and not away from something. What I mean is, don't quit because you hate your boss. Don't quit because you're tired. Don't quit because you had a bad week. Quit because you've built something worth running towards. There's a huge difference. One decision is emotional while the other is strategic. And then finally, number 10, build systems that allow you to step away. Here's a huge mistake I made early on. I thought the goal of entrepreneurship was to simply stop working for someone else. It's not. The real goal is to build a business that doesn't depend on you for every single task. Because if your business cannot operate without you, you haven't escaped your job at all. You just created another one. One that actually requires you to work longer hours, one that doesn't pay you overtime, and one that never lets you take a vacation. As your business grows, start documenting your process, create a run book or SOP, right? Ask yourself, if someone else had to do this tomorrow, if I ended up in a hospital for months, could they run this without me, without my instruction? And anything repetitive should become a system. Anything that drains your time should definitely be delegated. Today, that's easier than ever. Before you hire your first employee, start using AI tools. Use a pro version of ChatGPT, Claude, or Gemini to create agents that will send emails, create content, brainstorm ideas, and organize your workflow. Use automation software like Zapier to eliminate repetitive tasks. And when your revenue allows and you grow enough to be able to afford it, Then you can hire a virtual assistant or build a small team that doesn't require you. Remember, your goal isn't to be busy. Your goal is to be valuable. The more time you spend working on your business instead of in your business, the more freedom you'll create. Because at the end of the day, you didn't quit your job to become an employee of your own company. You quit to build a life that gives you more freedom, more flexibility, and more control of your time. Listen, I could tell you my whole entrepreneur story, how I left corporate America, the mistakes I made, the lessons I learned the hard way, but I've already dedicated an entire video to that journey. If you haven't watched it yet, it's called Everyone Wants Funding, Nobody Wants Customers. In that video, I shared the biggest lesson that I wish someone would have told me before I started my business, which is starting your business isn't the hard part. Getting customers is. And until you solve that problem, nothing else really matters. So after you finish watching this video, I highly recommend you watch that one next because it'll completely change the way you think about entrepreneurship. But for now, here's my final message. If you're watching this video because you have dreams of leaving your job, I want you to know I'm not trying to discourage you. I'm actually trying to increase the odds of your success. Entrepreneurship has given me opportunities I never would have imagined. Freedom, flexibility, income, and most importantly, purpose. But it also exposes every weakness I had. It forced me to become better at sales, better at communication, better at leadership, better at discipline. And I'm here to tell you, your job isn't the enemy. Your job can actually become the investor that funds your business. Use that paycheck strategically. Create something you're proud of. Then eventually you won't need to take that leap of faith because instead you'll simply be stepping into something that you've already proven works. So if you found this video valuable, I want you to hit that like button because it helps the video reach more aspiring entrepreneurs. If you're serious about building a business, improving your credit, qualifying for funding, or eventually buying real estate, make sure you subscribe because that's exactly what we talk about here in every single video. And I want to hear from you. What's the biggest thing holding you back from quitting your job and starting your business? Drop it in the comments below. I read every single one. Thanks for watching, and I really think you'll love the video right here, so you should check that one out next. I hope you enjoy the rest of your morning, afternoon, or evening, whatever time of the day it is.